Hello everybody and welcome back to another quick Dwarf Fortress tutorial. In this video we're going to be talking about customizing statues. Now there's a few different ways you can do this and I'm going to show you both of them. And what we're going to be doing is we're going to be making a statue and we're going to be assigning a custom image to it. You can also specify stone and the type of material you want to use, but for this we're just going to be talking about customizing images. So what we're going to do is we're going to queue up a statue. Now we're going to do this at the stoneworker's shop. Keep in mind this also works for other materials and other types of statues, such as metal statues or clay statues or any other type of material. Now all that we're going to do is we're going to click on this little magnifying glass here. It says set details for this task, such as material to be used. So we're going to click that. And now we have two options here. We can specify material and we can specify the image that we use. We're going to just start off by specifying the material. Now the only material we have available in this current fortress is shirt, so we will select shirt, so it now re-specifies it as a shirt statue. Then from there we can specify image. So here we have a little bit of fun. We can make one related to a specific historical figure, and then we can simply search through for one of our dwarves or somebody from Legends. It also gives you a little bit of information as to who that person was. Maybe you want to learn a little bit about somebody that's visiting your fortress, like a mercenary, for example. You could actually search for them. Like, let's just type in the word Jurist and look for every single dwarf named or person with the word Jurist in their name that exists in this world. This is every single notable jurist that has ever existed. A very important metric to keep an eye on. Now, as we back out of this screen and go back by one, another thing we could do is we could do it related to a site. So maybe perhaps we want to make a fortress out of this, a statue out of this fortress, which is called Well Even. So I could just simply go to Well Even and we could make a or wall even, not well even, wall even. We could make a image out of here. So this is a dwarven fortress in the Fortunate Jungles called Wall Even. So we'll queue that up just for this video. And then the next thing we're going to do is we're going to queue up another statue to give you another idea of what you can do. Now, since we only have one type of stone, we're not going to worry about this one. But what we do have this option to have a peek at now is we can specify existing image. We can make it related to a civilization or group, or we could specify a new image. So existing image, usually what you'll have by default is your group symbol, which can either be created by you if you prepare carefully, or alternatively will be randomly generated for you. This artwork is a superiorly designed image of a hood. The symbol is a symbol of the frilly glove, a local dwarven government, that is us. And then the noiseless paper, which is our civilization, their symbol is the symbol of the decent chambers, a local dwarven civilization. So you know what? We'll queue up one of our local dwarven civ. And then lastly, I'm going to show you the final way that you can queue these up. And if you have a manager set up in the noble screen and assigned to an office, then you'll have access to the labor and work orders screen. If you queue up a work order, you can say queue up rock statue. And then once you're here, this same magnifying glass exists. So we're going to click on this. And we can once again specify the stone type, and we can also specify the image. And for this, we're going to use a new image to give you an idea. So let's just talk about what kind of power you have here. You can create some pretty detailed images with this. Of course, it's all just text descriptions, and the first entity listed in the image will be the one that the statue appears as in this tile set. However, you actually have quite a lot of options here. So let's say make a image of a badger. Why not? How about just a single badger? So this is an image of a badger, right? And now we're going to have an image of maybe a dwarf. And the dwarf is embracing the badger. So this is clearly a dwarf that loves badgers, right? It's a dwarf that is embracing a badger. Now, let's say that there's something a little bit terrifying going on in the background. Let's say that there is a goblin, okay? Now, this goblin is doing what goblins do, which is, let's say, can I say vomit? Even better. The goblin is burning, and the goblin is screaming as well. So now we have this image of a badger, a dwarf, and a goblin. The dwarf is embracing the badger. The goblin is screaming. The goblin is burning, and the goblin is screaming. And the let's say that the dwarf here is laughing. And now we're going to name this image, and it's going to be called the Otur scream. Okay, so let's say the the dutiful scream, which is, of course, in Dwarven. So when you're naming your statue's images, you are limited to the Dwarven words, so sometimes you'll have to kind of bend it into working, but Estus tubas, the dutiful scream, is now a new image. So once we click done, it's now queued up. And even better, if I were to queue up more statues, let's say rock stat, because we've created that new image. If we now go into specify image and we go to an existing image, looks like the dutiful scream is now listed underneath a group commission for this fortress. So now that we're here, it is set to make 10 of each. I'm going to actually lower that number down a little bit to just 1, and we're going to make these statues up, and then once these statues are done, we'll finish up the video. So now the 3 statues are done, we're going to get them constructed. We're going to hit B, we're going to go to furniture, and then we're going to click statue. Now we're going to simply select the one that's closest by. And now, as you can see, we have a couple different images here. We have this statue of a badger, clearly our custom designed image. Right next to it, we have the statue of a dwarf, I think. And it looks like we had one already made up elsewhere. We've got statue of dwarves, so we're going to skip the statue of dwarves and then the statue of a dwarf. Now, once all these get connected and set up, we can actually examine them and have a closer look at them. So this is our first one, which is a statue of Almush. Insert statue of Almush, an image of Almush, the deity of the dawn, depicted as a female dwarf. Okay, well, that wasn't the one that I intended to make, but clearly we had one previously made. And then let's place that last one. But here, down here, we have an image of a badger. The image is a rendition of the dutiful scream, an image of a badger, a dwarf, and a goblin. The dwarf is embracing the badger. The goblin is burning. The goblin is screaming. The dwarf is laughing. The image was commissioned by the Frilly Glove, a local dwarven government. Glorious. And then down here we have this shirt statue of a dwarf, a finely crafted statue of a dwarf. The item is an image of a finely designed, it's a finely designed image of a dwarf in shirt by Zudham. And then lastly, down here, we have this well-crafted search statue of dwarves. The item is a rendition of the noiseless paper, an image of dwarves. The item is the symbol of the decent chambers, a dwarven civilization. So that was a little video on customizing statues. If you want to see more videos like this playlist is getting rather large now. Just simply go to YouTube and type in Dwarf Fortress Quick Tutorials. And if you would like to see more of me while I play video games on the internet, you can go to twitch.tv/BLINDIRL for more Dwarf Fortress than you could reasonably watch in a lifetime. Guaranteed live Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursdays with bonus streams around the weekends. And also, if you would like to just stick around for the YouTube side of things, there's tons of stuff on this YouTube channel almost every day. Thank you very much for watching, and I hope to see you in the next one.